Perhaps you found yourself in a situation where you feel frustrated, out of ideas, unsure about how to motivate your team to be more effective, more productive, or even wondering how to motivate yourself to do what you know you need to do. Or maybe you're wondering how to become a more effective communicator and how to deal with difficult team members. You might be a business owner or a leader wondering what's blocking your business or your team from implementing the changes that you know you need to implement. You might possibly also be wondering how to get your team organization to be more effective, more innovative, and more creative. What you might not realize is that these issues have a common cause, and generally they're to do with thoughts and emotions. Research has now shown that about 300,000 people a year leave work due to mental health issues, costing the UK economy between 70 billion to 90 billion pounds. It shows how important having a mental health strategy is in the workplace. In a world of disruptive digital business models, augmented workforces, flattened organizations, and an ongoing shift to team-based work practices, organizations are challenging their leaders to step up and show the way forward. Senior executives are being pressured to be more human and work more collaboratively. Line managers as well must now learn to operate in networks of teams. But research is now showing us that while organizations expect new leadership capabilities, they are still largely promoting traditional models and mindsets. Organizations should now be supporting leaders to navigate this great ambiguity and complexity of the workplace more effectively by enabling them to be more adaptable, to take charge, and be able to be flexible and lead their teams through change more effectively. But most importantly, to training your leaders and managers to be serving leaders. With the complexity of today's business climate, you and your organization, your teams cannot afford to be held up by communication breakdowns, by poorly engaged teams, or by leaders who don't have the necessary vision, resilience, and agility to cut through chaos and get results. You cannot compete successfully if you're being consistently outpaced by change or stuck in traditional and past ideas. And you most certainly cannot afford to waste time, talent, and resources any longer. James McGregor Burns said that leaders and executives must operate by feel and by feedback. This is so important because an organization is what you make it. If you treat it like an altar of facts and logic, like a machine, that's exactly what you will get. But if you treat it as something precious and alive, then you will get a community of trusting relationships where creative ideas are nurtured. Science now shows us that it's the deeper structures, the habits, the things that we are unaware of that holds most people hostage. This is what led me to develop this training on emotional intelligence in leadership, because going into so many organizations, I was finding that most organizations were having the same issue: lack of team engagement, high staff turnaround, leaders and managers that could not communicate effectively with their people, managers and leaders that did not show empathy to people, teams that believed that their leaders and managers did not care about them. And all this was leading to very low productivity, low effectiveness, low engagement, and a team force that had switched off and did not really care. This training will inspire you to identify and adapt your own behavior appropriately to improve your performance and improve your team's performance. It will enable you make better, faster, and more effective decisions. Faster decision making will enable you to capture opportunities faster. It will also enable you to attract, engage, and retain the best talent. This training will equip you to sharpen your awareness of the tactical and soft skills that you need to lead effectively. And finally, it will enable you adopt a leader's mindset and create the next generation solution. You know the saying, knowledge is power, but I'll also say that actionable knowledge is more powerful, because gaining the knowledge and doing nothing with it is as useless as not having the knowledge at all. Understanding how your brain works is your key to adapting your behavior appropriately to achieve the excellence you desire and deserve. Emotional intelligence is so important because every thought that you have has an emotion attached to it, which means that every action you take or decision you take is driven by your emotions. So the whole concept of emotional intelligence is to equip you with the skills to manage your emotions more effectively, but most importantly, to then take the appropriate actions to enable you achieve what you want, which could be motivating people, motivating yourself, motivating your team, being more influential as a leader and as a person, developing positive relationships with your team, both in your personal life and in your professional life. The fact is that building and establishing high emotional intelligence will help you in every aspect of your life. Everyone has a brain. You just need to understand how to control your brain, and it will make a difference to your mental well-being, your emotional well-being, and your physical well-being. Come on here, think about it. What we're talking about is the brain that drives every single thing that you do. So I hope you join me in this training so that you will learn exactly how to take back control of your brain, to enable you take back control of your life, to enable you achieve exactly what you want to achieve. And you know what I say? To enable you become limitless. Is it possible? Absolutely yes. Is it easy? No. There's nothing you set your heart to achieve that you cannot do. So I hope to see you in the academy. And if you've got any questions, please by all means send the questions to me, and I'll be so glad to help you. So I look forward to seeing you inside the academy. Bye.